Listening to us sing together, harmonizing our voices, is my favorite part of Shabbat. That's probably why Reb Shlomo would say, when you talk and I talk at the same time, I can't hear you and you can't hear me. But when we sing together, we make harmony. There's been so much talking this past week. That's why I really need this singing on Shabbat. You see, Shabbat restores my soul. It helps me reconnect with my friends, my family, our congregation, and to God. One could argue that singing on Shabbat is actually the essence of Shabbat. We welcome Shabbat by singing Psalm 96, "Sing out to God, all the earth, all the universe." When we think of the sounds of our world harmonizing together, we can hear that song of Shabbat. The song of Shabbat becomes a song of peace when Shabbat is a symphony of everything in this universe, all of creation together. Maybe Shabbat is the Jewish theory of everything, a spiritual tool to connect to the universe. There was a Jew who took this very seriously. His name was Albert Einstein. He spent the last 30 years of his life on a fruitless quest for a way to combine gravity and electromagnetism into a single, elegant theory. After having become famous for several brilliant breakthroughs in physics, the photoelectric effect, theories of relativity, Einstein was motivated by an intellectual need to unify the forces of the universe, the forces of nature. He felt very strongly that all of nature could be and should be described by a single theory. He never gave up on this quest. Even lying on his deathbed, he continued to work on this to discover the unified theory that explains how we are all connected. The fact that we seek this unification theory tells us something about ourselves, about our expectations regarding the universe. Our monotheistic traditions reinforce our assumption that the universe at its root is a unity. And yet, we get so busy with our own challenges at work, at home, or in politics that we ignore what others can contribute. We resist foreign affairs and ideas. We forget the message of the creation story in our Parsha is that somehow we are all connected. Ironically, even Einstein could have benefited from remembering how connected we all are. You see, one reason he was unable to discover the unified theory is because he ignored quantum mechanics. And therefore, he ignored modern developments in physics, and he distanced himself from the physics community. Even Einstein later on admitted, "I must seem like an ostrich hiding my head forever under the sand." Tragically, the more that Einstein ignored the rest of the community, the further he was from discovering the theory that connects us all. Our world is so much brighter, so much richer, and so much better when we recognize how each of us fits into this world. This is why we say Kiddush on Friday night. It's more than a blessing on grape juice or wine. What is Kiddush? It's a blessing we say on the entirety of the universe, on the created world as we know it. It's a moment to connect, to unite with the universe. In our weekly Torah portion, Bereshit, we see that the whole creation story is 31 verses. Just 31 verses. However, the entire Torah is close to 6,000 verses. For me, this is very telling. I think this is the Torah saying, I'm not interested in the scientific details of how creation happened, but I want you to know something and internalize that this created world is one unit, one entity where we're all connected. The 18th century rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, he says the following. He says, some people look around and on a superficial level, they don't see how we're connected. They only see separateness, how we're detached, one from another, one object from another object. But when we look at the world with wisdom, what happens? We see how all of creation is tied together, intertwined from the creation of the world. And did you know this is what led to modern scientific theory? Without this assumption that we're all united and connected, scientists would not be able to make claims and assumptions about the cosmos, as it entails a tremendous faith in the oneness of the universe. So in the meantime, scientists will continue to formulate this theory of unification of the universe. And in the meantime, we must continue to cultivate a lifestyle full of connections. And there's no better time to do this than on Shabbat. Shabbat's the perfect time to engage in Torah study and to connect with others through study. 8:45 tomorrow morning is one recommendation. Shabbat's the perfect time to enjoy a beautiful meal with friends, maybe to go on a walk with friends. And of course, Shabbat is a perfect time to sing together, to connect to one another, and to enjoy all of what we have. And with that, I wish us all a Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. Yashar.